Yeah, as I said, Mr. Sam Bankman-Fried has now been convicted. Finally, seemed like it was taking forever. I'm going to read this article from Forbes. This would be the right guys to be talking about this because realistically, Forbes is money, and he just got off. He just fell off the Forbes list at some point. So I'm going to read it. And this article will also talk about some of the other people that some of these other billionaires that have actually been convicted of and some of the sentences. I'll go over those because it's kind of interesting. So here we go. So how Sam Bankman-Fried's possible 110-year sentence stacks up against other ex-billionaires and billionaires, they're ex-billionaires and billionaires who've served time. So former crypto billionaire Sam Bankman-Fried was convicted Thursday on 7 counts of fraud and conspiracy. The 31-year-old, who was once worth as much as 24 billion, I had no idea it was 24 billion. That's crazy. And ranked number 41 amongst America's richest, faces up to 110 years in prison and is expected to be sentenced on March 28th. After his crypto trading firm FTX filed for bankruptcy and shut down in November 2022, Forbes reduced our estimate of Bankman-Fried's fortune to nothing. Yeah, come on. Well, it'd be nothing if he's an idiot, but most of these clowns sat, they hide money. They put money somewhere else. So I'm sure he's got some money somewhere. I'm sure he's not going to be destitute, put it that way. The fallen titan of crypto might be in prison longer than any billionaire has been before, given his age and possible sentence, but he certainly wouldn't be the first to be locked up. At least 11 billionaires or former billionaires have been to the big house, with 3 of them still behind bars and another under home confinement. That doesn't seem like a real conviction if you're just confined at home. Like, especially if your home is immaculate and, you just keep, just make it a playground, right? Whatever. White collar crime has been the weapon of choice for most of these unlawful elites. Excuse me. With them doing time for crimes ranging from orchestrating sweeping cases of fraud to bribery. One exception, the infamous Mexican drug kingpin Joaquin Guzman Leora, better known as El Chapo, who Forbes called a billionaire from 2009 through 2012, based on his leadership of the Sinaloa cartel, which was allegedly responsible for 25% of all drugs smuggled from Mexico into the U.S. Wow. He is serving life sentence for narcotics trafficking and money laundering. Out of the 11 below, 7 are no longer members of the Three Comma Club, many as a result of their crimes. Okay, so Alan Stanford. So Alan Stanford, what did he do? Um, sold sold 7 billion in fraudulent certificates of deposits through the Stanford International Bank in the Caribbean island of Antigua. Never heard of him, but okay. Who else we got here? Mikhail Hodorovsky and Platon Lebedev. I've never heard of these two. Okay, so they were business partners in the Russian oil and gas company Yukos. Russian civilians, blah, 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 were arrested for tax evasion in 2003. Okay, whatever. So they were sentenced to 13 years for that. Raj Rajartnam. Okay, he was a hedge fund. He founded the hedge fund group Galleon Group in the late 90s. So you're what, Ponzi scheme, I guess? Yeah, okay. 11 years in prison. Okay. Joaquin Guzman, El Chapo, 5 years to a life sentence or of a life sentence. He's been in behind bars 5 years of a life sentence. So that one's a little different. That's a clear cut case of, you know, big crime essentially. He's attached to all kinds of crime, murders and all kinds of things. John Kapoor, who was the CEO of now bankrupt pharmaceutical company Insys Therapeutics. So what did he do? Set to be released from confinement. Oh, he's in home confinement. So 3.5 years behind bars. And he's set to be released this year. Oh, that's nice. Thomas Kwok. He's Hong Kong, yeah, whatever. Hong Kong real estate investment firm. Okay. So that's why you may not know of him. I don't know of him either. Michael Milken. You can't make those names up. Michael Milken. Really, it's like Bernie Madoff. If somebody's named Bernie Madoff or anything Madoff, doesn't matter whether it's Bernie, and they say, hey, give me all your money and I'm going to, I don't know. I think something's going to kind of ring on that one. Michael Milken, he's just milking it. So he's high yield bond strategy for corporate mergers and acquisitions. Okay. So let me see here. He had to pay 600 million in fines. That's fun. He served 2 years in prison. J.Y. Lee, 18 months. Uh, this is South Korea bribing the country's then president Park Yun Hye. Elizabeth Holmes, you may have heard of her. She's pretty famous. She's that one with that Theranos, that pharmaceutical company where she just kept lying and saying they were developing, whatever this um, I, whatever it was, something for testing your blood. And there was a show on it. I didn't watch all of it. I watched part of it. It's pretty good what I watched of it. I should have finished it, but anyways, yeah, it looks like she's done 5 months and 11-year sentence. Problem with these people is they get these long sentences, but realistically, they're not going to do them just because they're not. It's not the crimes they do are it's money, and people don't seem to hold that as high a regard as hurting somebody or killing somebody. I think it can. I think it can be worse, to be honest. I think if you steal someone's life savings, and you know that's you might as well kill them. Some people, anyway. Some people will look at it and be like, I could get it back, but other people would just be like devastated and probably kill themselves. Curtis Johnson served 3 months so far. Great grandson of Samuel Curtis Johnson, the patriarch of the S.C. Johnson Company. Didn't know this. Charged in 2011 with sexual assault of his then teenage stepdaughter. You're gross, bud. Okay, cool. That's it. That's the billionaires, and that's what they're doing in comparison to Mr. Sam Bankman-Fried, who got 110 years. Well, I don't know. Will he do that? He'll appeal it, I'm sure. He'll get a reduced sentence somehow. Guy's 31. He's probably be out of prison by the time he's like 45 or something like that. Just in time to pull a couple more frauds on people.